Oh, didn't see you there. It's me, Thomas Edder, also known as TE. I just found TE's mum a new car to join the fleet because she was in need of a new car, but it's in Redditch. You know, on a bit of a budget, and I want to try and get there for £20. So I've been on the net, done a bit of look for a few websites, and I think I can just about do it with a few slow trains, all the stops with TE, not big fast ones, slow ones. So it's gonna take all day to get there, but it's well worth it. And let's see if we can do it for under £20. So go on, let's get on the road. northern ticket, and now we've got just nearly 2 hours here at Manchester. Well, we're going to go and see a bit of showbiz, and on Dale Street. I'll be off. Entrance of Manchester Piccadilly. It's £2 up there, fucking tiny joke. Oh. Rather them than me. Canal company there. Well, it was once upon a time. So we're on Dale Street, come down to the end to see this building here. Because this is where Foo Foo's palace was, or Frank Pearson to the normal folk, but to the showbiz world is Foo Foo Lammar.
Frank Pearson is one of the few self-made men who's also a self-made woman. On the northern club and pub scene, drag queens are to a penny, and even vulgarity not entirely unheard of. But at her palace in Dale Street, night after night, Foo Foo Lammar has added a dimension which is positively insulting to her audience. The Northwest is suffering from its worst depression in 50 years. Work and money are short, and bigger and more expensive clubs are losing customers. Against this bleak background, Frank Foo Foo Lammar has moved onward and upward, radiating confidence in the kind of earthy, some might say smutty humour which he knows will attract an audience. And at £1 a head, the entertainment is dirt cheap. But then Foo Foo knows what working girls like. She was one herself. By 8:30, he's ready to welcome the first guests. There's an element of physical as well as verbal abuse. Foo Foo taps that most fundamental vein of British humour, the McGill postcard brought to life in a sea of sweat. The Carry On films carried on just that little bit further. And there's no doubt that the atmosphere is charged with hysterical enjoyment. Fairy Godmother has been transformed into Prince Charming, but the audience is still spellbound. Only 4 have left, university students. The frontiers of culture, or even comedy, have probably not been extended. But on tonight of all nights, the night that Manchester City lost the cup final, Frank Pearson picked up his audience and gave them the time of their lives.
And his original, he had a club first, and then he came here. And his first entrance on the club was on the other end, where it turned to brick. It went from sort of smooth sort of sandstone to brick. And then later on, what you can get the most photos from, his second entrance was those 2 lower windows there between the blue and the black bin. And his Rolls Royce with Foo 1 is been parked down Mangle Street down the side. And we can link it all up because Frank Sidebottom did the Sweeney song like a Sweeney theme tune, but like his own version. And he goes and sees Foo Foo, and he's there outside the door, and Frank's there, and they drive the Granada, and you can see his Rolls Royce out of Mangle Street there, and you can tell by all the drain pipes on the building on the other side, that's the actual place.
Put your knickers on and make me a cup of tea. Do you see who I see? I know. That's all we need. Who are you? We're the Swedish, son. Who are you? Jack Regan.
But it's so hard to see. You couldn't think those two bottom windows there were a doorway. You couldn't tell. There's holes in the top bit where you can sort of see where the sign's been. That's all you can see really. Even the other end's totally, you can't tell there was ever a door at that end. And then all his club was down there. So he'd turn up and he'd get all set up, but then at 7 o'clock at night he'd be outside there and all the buses would turn up down Dale Street with all the hen parties, stag do's, anything, birthday parties, all pile out, and he stood there and he'd sort of be like on the door watching them all come in, having banter with them, because he was working out what his audience was like, who were they and what were they chatting about. So when he did his cabaret later, he could have a dig at different people, and he'd know he could have a bit of fun.
By this time, of course, I'm weighing up the situation of who's who's fat, who's thin, who's got dyed hair and permed hair, who looks good, who doesn't, who I'm going to have a go at when I get on stage, listening to tidbits of the conversation which they'll never think I'm listening to. Look at her with the new shoes on. How are you, girl?
Alright,
All right, my little babe.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, love. All right.
Yeah.
Another new coat. I love your brooch. Isn't that beautiful? Good evening. Come on, darling. All the fur coats. It must be a very posh party then.
It's our birthday today. It's bloody it's yours.
Oh, you don't want me to show you up, do you?
Hey, listen, these are all Tameside home help. Home help.
Home help.
Do you want
They
one?
look as though they could do with some home help themselves.
And then you all go in and they go downstairs, and then it was all they all had a dress code. I think it was smart casual, and you get through down underneath, and then you go into his club, and it was 3 hours of disco and 3 hours of cabaret would happen down there, and he'd have his sort of his warm-up single would be Rita Ski would be down there. But it was good. I'll get some footage, but it's very hard to get footage now. I couldn't find it the other day. It used to be some really top good video we could have inserted. But I can insert loads of footage to show you that's the actual place. So here, this is where his Foo One Rolls Royce would be parked here, down the side of here. But when Frank Sidebottom did that Sweeney song, they all used the street for a lot of cutaways. But see that loading door where that train is? Well, that door was never there and it was blocked off, where they did a lot of sort of like jumping into the Granada. Oh, we're going to get run over here. And Frank's out here with Foo Foo with a load of milk, and they're all jumping out there. And you can tell by the drain pipes that's the actual place. So there you go, this is where the door was. One of these, like that one there, probably the stuff we walked in there. You can't tell, they've so reshaped the building. But there is holes like stuff like this all along it where he's had his Foo Foo's palace put along here, and then there was a door. But you can't tell it was ever here. So when he first got his club here in Dale Street, this here was the first entrance of his club before he moved it up to that end. So it was in here, and you can't actually see on this one more clearly where it was than the other one, when the other one was still there to early 2000s, and you can't tell. But you can sort of tell on this one. And obviously he was all in the cellar down below. Now it's all flats. We're down a bit of tea with TE in the co-op at Manchester Piccadilly, doing a bit of people watching. Lots and lots to people watch. We're going now from here to Stoke-on-Trent. We're going to go and get on a microwave and on the train to Stoke-on-Trent. That stops at all stations, even Macclesfield, and I think it's going to cost us something like £3.80 to get there. So a win-win TA.
hope you've enjoyed travelling with Northern today. As you leave the train, please mind the gap between the train and the platform edge.
We are sorry that the 13:48 Avanti West Coast service to Manchester Piccadilly is delayed by approximately 21 minutes. This is due to a fault on this train. We apologise for this late running and the inconvenience this may cause you.
Ah, so we've made it to Stoke-on-Trent. There's our train over there. We came in a microwave. Dead good. It was a lot faster than I thought it was. Just come through Longport, where I did very early TE video at Longport. And now we're going on the West Midlands trains from here to Birmingham, well, New Street, and then we're going to change again and go to Redditch. But it's all for the price of £6. So we got £6 tickets. There you go. to Redditch now. Somewhere. Because you're red orange, is it? Where? It's on platform 12 at Redditch. That's 8, 9, that's 12, 10 and 12. Everyone thinks I work on this station because I got the orange. Birmingham all wear orange, where Manchester don't wear orange. They've always got the fancy uniform.
The gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage or furniture. Welcome aboard this service to Redditch.
So that we nearly did £20 to get down to Birmingham sort of way, but not quite. We're about 30p short. So what we did, and the cameraman's got the 30p there, so it was 30p out. We went from Grange Sands this morning, very early this morning, to Manchester Piccadilly for £10.50. Then Manchester, we had a look at Foo Foo's Palace, and then we went from Manchester Piccadilly to Stoke-on-Trent, where one of my uncles used to work, for £3.80, and then we went from Stoke-on-Trent via New Street, Birmingham, to Redditch for £6. But I was about 30p too short, and we come down to spend a bit more cash from that £20 to buy this. And if you want to know more about this, keep tuned for the next video, and make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and a comment below, and remember to click that big bell. Ding!